Hi, this is Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com, right back here on Wager Talk TV with an NFL preview for this Sunday, October the 8th, between the Panthers and Lions. I'm going to let you know the best way to play this game and make some money on Sunday in the NFL. Quick reminder, leave a thumbs up if you're liking the video and leave comments below. I read all the comments and I reply back. And as an added incentive to comment, if you predict the winner and by how much, you win it 3 days of my personal best bets at WagerTalk.com. All you have to do is enter your predicted winner and the margin. Give me your predicted score, and whoever gets closest wins 3 days and nights of my personal best bets, a $69 value for free at wagertalk.com. All right, let's look at this matchup at 1 o'clock Eastern on Sunday. We're in week 5 now of the NFL regular season, and that means all the teams have played 4 games. We get some buys starting to creep in here the next several months. But back in the day, the 16-game season, this was exactly the 25% mark, the quarter mark. Now there's 17 games, so it's actually the 23.5% mark, so pretty close to the quarter. And the reason I bring that up is because normally teams that struggle for the first few weeks continue to struggle for 3 or 4 weeks. But week 5 on is when we can start maybe taking that contrarian view. As you know, I love to fade the public. I do a weekly video every weekend here on Wager Talk TV. Yet another reason to hit subscribe and the bell for instant alerts when that video goes live. And it's a little early in the week. I'm doing this video on Tuesday. Fade the public will be up on Friday. But it does look like the Detroit Lions are going to be a pretty public play this week. And it's not a surprise. I mean, the Lions are not only 3-1 straight up, but they're also 3-1 against the spread. They finished last season 8-2 against the spread, so they're now on an 11-3 spread run going back to the middle of last season. They've been the most profitable team in the NFL for the past 2 years combined, past 2.5 years combined. Meanwhile, the Carolina Panthers 0-4 straight up, 0-3-1. Some people got a push against the Saints. They have failed to cover all the other games. And these are really two teams, it appears, heading in opposite directions. Now, while I love to fade the public, I'm not going to do so here, and there's one reason. One adage I've always said is that handicapping is simple. If you can ever find the better team in a focused spot, that's the play. And a lot of people might think this is not a focused spot because Detroit just played Green Bay on Thursday Night Football, got the nice road win. They have 2 road games on deck against Tampa and Baltimore coming up. But I think it is a focused spot, and there's a reason. Detroit was kept out of the playoffs last year because they lost at Carolina late in the season. This is a Detroit Lion team that went 8-2 straight up, 9-1 against the spread down the stretch. Their only spread loss and one of their only 2 straight up losses over those final 10 games was in Carolina a year ago. And not only did that keep them out of the playoffs, not only was it a bad loss, but they got throttled on the line of scrimmage. In fact, the Carolina Panthers, believe it or not, had 570 yards of offense in that game. And what really stood out was the 320 rushing yards the Panthers had, which was a franchise record. Detroit was just throttled. So the question becomes, can they stop the running game this year? They definitely can stop the running game. In fact, coming into week 5, Detroit is the number 1 ranked rush defense in the NFL. They're giving up only 61 rushing yards and only 3 yards per carry this season, and it's not misleading. They've held each of their 4 opponents, including the Chiefs way back in week 1 on the road. Everyone they've held to 90 rushing yards or less. Not a good setup for a Carolina team that has absolutely no passing attack this season. They're averaging just 4.7 yards per pass. So they need to run the ball, and they're not going to be able to do so like they did last season. Keep in mind, Andy Dalton did play well against the Seahawks back in Game 3. Bryce Young has really struggled in the other games. He was awful in Games 1 and 2. He did look better last week against the Vikings. Had a 93.2 quarterback rating. A lot of dunk-off passes, though, because he had 78% completions but only averaged 6.4 yards per pass. Not sure that's going to work this week, especially now that the Lions have more film on that game plan. Hey, look, this is a square play. I get it. Once again, fade the public. The Lions will probably be a public play this week, but if you're going to play it, I think you have to lay it. It's the only way to go. By the way, the look-ahead line last week was going to be 7.5. The line this summer was as low as 5. Now it's 9 across the board at the Wager Talk Live odds screen. So obviously the line is inflated, but I still think the Lions are the only way to play it. Best option, if you can find 8.5 or less, is to do a 6-point teaser. Even at 9 or 9.5, use a 7-point teaser. Get Detroit down to -2.5 or less. That's probably the best way to attack this game with the inflated line, is to use the Lions in a teaser if you can get them down to -2.5 or less and do a 2-team teaser with them with someone else this weekend. But once again, Detroit would be my preferred side in this game on Sunday afternoon. Hey, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know who you think's going to win and by how much. And if you get the closest predicted winner, you will win 3 days and nights of my personal best bets for free at wagertalk.com. So comment below. And don't forget to hit subscribe and the bell for instant alerts when my Fade the Public video goes live, and also my college football top 25 video. And if you'd like to get my personal best bets this week before you win those 3 free days next week, hey, get right on board right now and get a special discounted price for a 7-day all access. Normally it's $99. It's just $79 for all viewers of this video when you use promo code STEVE7. Go to wagertalk.com, Steve Merrill, wagertalk.com, and use promo code STEVE7 at checkout on the 7-day all access, and you get it down to just $79. That works out to just over $11 a day. Check it out right now. Promo code STEVE7, Steve Merrill, wagertalk.com. And stay tuned right here on Wager Talk TV for more great college and pro football preview videos coming up next.